Artificial intelligence isn't coming, it's here. It's the defining technology of our time. But it's human ingenuity that makes it so powerful. Jane started losing her vision when she was 12.
California Street.
She uses Seeing AI.
I crept down
the stairs and out the door,
which enables her to read and navigate her world. Microsoft AI is helping farmers adapt to climate change,
We can use technology to help feed the world without wrecking the planet.
enabling wildlife conservation,
The ability to use AI really democratizes science. WildMe uses images from any source to help study endangered species.
and creating new ways for people with hearing loss to communicate.
I want the exact same information that my hearing friends have.
It's more than just imitating intelligence or sounding like a human. Microsoft AI is changing every industry, from healthcare
And now you can see these finite details, the relationship with many structures.
to engineering and telecommunications.
We are using artificial intelligence to change the way we are relating to customers.
AI lets us put people first.
The Microsoft tools really enabled us to breathe digital life into an iconic brand persona.
The product that we make is not a thing in a box. Microsoft AI empowers others to create experiences and potential. This is just the beginning.
Artificial intelligence, it's just opened up this whole world.
The future we invent is a choice we make.
Right now, artificial intelligence helps us meet the needs of today so we're prepared for tomorrow.
By 2050, we need to produce 60% more food. So how are we going to feed the world without wrecking the planet? Using Microsoft artificial intelligence, we can reduce waste and produce more food. Any grower will tell you every row, every crop is different. We can use Microsoft AI to make local predictions about light, wind, rain. This helps farmers know when to plant, irrigate, and harvest. It's making a difference.
Artificial intelligence helps farmers grow more while wasting less.
Seeing AI is a Microsoft research project for people with visual impairments. The app narrates the world around you by turning the visual world into an audible experience. Point your phone's camera, select a channel, and hear a description. The app recognizes saved friends.
Jenny near top right, 3 feet away.
Describes the people around you, including their emotions.
28-year-old female wearing glasses looking happy.
It reads text out loud as it comes into view, like on an envelope.
Ken Lawrence, P.O. Box.
Or a room entrance.
Conference 2005.
Or scan and read documents like books and letters. The app will guide you and recognize the text with its formatting.
Top and left edge is not visible. Hold steady. Lease agreement. This agreement
When paying with cash, the app identifies currency bills.
$20.
When looking for something in your pantry or at the store, use the barcode scanner with audio cues to help you find what you want.
Campbell's tomato soup.
When available, hear additional product details.
Heated microwave bowl on height.
And even hear descriptions of images in other apps like Twitter by importing them into Seeing AI.
A close-up of Bill Gates.
Finally, explore our experimental features like scene descriptions to get a glimpse of the future.
I think it's a young girl throwing a frisbee in the park.
Experience the world around you with the Seeing AI app from Microsoft.
So think about this. How often are you alive when the dawn of a new medium comes out? I knew that I had to be a part of VR because there are no rules for what VR should be. Starship Commander is a choose-your-own-adventure VR narrative that uses natural language processing, so you can actually have a real conversation with the characters.
I'm Sergeant Sarah Pearson. I've been assigned to your wing today.
When we started making Starship Commander, we had to figure out how do we get technology that can understand what a person's saying so that we can have these new narrative experiences. We're a science fiction game. We come up with new words. No off-the-shelf software could let us put in custom words.
Who are the Echnians?
In our story, the bad guys are called the Echnians. and every time we said eknian, it would come up with really weird words that were similar to other things that you would say. And so it would get confused all the time. So we needed to make sure that we could supply our own script. We started using Microsoft Cognitive Services to power the back end of Starship Commander.
Looks cool.
Once we plugged custom speech service into Starship Commander, I had tears in my eyes when I was playing it because it's like, oh my God, this is it. This is the experience we want.
Open the hatch.
Voice print accepted. Welcome, Commander.
You can essentially put your script in there and it knows, oh, these are the ways that people are gonna talk. And these are the phrases that they're gonna say.
Cool. What's my mission?
It must be something pretty important.
And then the second thing too was the intent detection. With Lewis, you basically give it a couple statements. After you've given it a couple statements, you crunch it and you start typing in your own statements, and it's shockingly scary how good it picks up even stuff that you didn't put in there.
Computer, use autopilot and let's be on our way.
Autopilot engaging.
I've never seen an opportunity like this where there's a wide open playing field. No one's written the rules yet. There's going to be tons of amazing software out there, and I just can't wait to see what other people write.
So right now, we do live in a society that is unfair and biased in many different ways. And I think the whole point of focusing on fairness in AI systems is to make sure that the systems that we develop and we deploy reduce unfairness in our society rather than keep things at the same level or even make it worse. And for me, that's really the goal. We've seen a lot of news stories over the past couple of years about AI systems that are used to allocate or withhold opportunities, resources, or information in domains like criminal justice, employment and hiring, finance, credit. AI systems can reinforce existing societal stereotypes. Another example would be cultural denigration. We also have over and under representation. There isn't a single definition that we can easily quantify and just integrate into our systems. Fairness relates to not just the system, the technical component, but it relates to the societal context in which the system is deployed. And that means that fairness, in the context of AI systems, is a fundamentally socio-technical challenge. This means that we've got to have a greater diversity of people developing and deploying AI systems. And what we see is that the assumptions and decisions made by teams at every stage of the AI development and deployment lifecycle can introduce biases. And that's why this is such an important topic. This isn't something that we can just sort of delegate to one or two people and call it quits and move on. No, this is something that everybody has to be thinking about really actively.
Reliability and safety is a concern for every AI system we develop. We need to make sure that the systems we are developing are consistent with the design ideas we have and working in a way that it is consistent with our values and principles. And this requires that our systems, our models, are not creating harm in the world. And if there are situations where they may be making mistakes, we actually push products out there with quantified and well understood risks and harms in a way that we actually share that with our users. This is kind of the guiding principle we have with respect to reliability and safety, and it is really a concept that applies to every AI product we have in the company. When we think about safety, the first examples that come to mind are self-driving cars. But it's not even limited to those physical systems, physical agents. We actually worry about harm to human lives when a machine learning model is making predictions about people's health in hospitals, when they are making predictions about diagnosis. Wrong assistance can lead to harms for people. So those are the cases that we really worry about because the threat is to human lives. But this doesn't mean that this issue is only for those physical systems. Reliability is a big concern, and small mistakes may pile up when a system gets used many times across large group of people. And that's why it is a concern for everything that we build.
Privacy is a fundamental right, and Microsoft has a long-standing commitment to privacy and security in the systems and products that we build. With AI and machine learning, we add new complexity to those systems and an increased reliance on using data to develop those systems, to train the systems. That increasing reliability on data adds new requirements for keeping the system secure. For example, we're using more data. We need to ensure the protection of that data, that it's not leaked or disclosed. One of the ways we approach that is to not remove the data from a customer's device, to run the models locally on the device, eliminating that potential vulnerability. When we consider the security aspects of these AI systems, you have to think through where and how the data is coming from, if it's user-submitted data or a public data source that's being used in the prediction. How do you prevent that from being corrupted? Having things like anomaly detection or other systems for detecting changes in the data that might indicate that there's an adversary trying to influence the results of the system.
If we think about what we're really trying to achieve, we want to make sure that we as Microsoft empower and engage the communities around the world, making sure that no one is left out, making sure that we are intentionally inclusive and intentionally diverse with the approaches that we take towards AI. We want to make sure that that full spectrum of communities are covered. And if we truly think about how we can design for the 3%, we can then solve for the 97% at the same time. We want to make sure that experiences like Seeing AI, speech-to-text translation out of PowerPoint, and other technological examples that we have that we're building upon, including the Microsoft accessibility standards, represent just an example of the extensive toolkits that we have here to ensure everyone truly designs for an inclusive AI future. As a woman of trans and non-binary experience, and also being Latinx as part of the underrepresented minority community, ensuring that these future experiences are truly representative of the underserved minority communities, we need to make sure that they're involved both in the earliest concepts and feature design and planning, but making sure that they're part of our testing, that we are also building with, side by side, individuals to make sure that we are not taking an ableist perspective for the population we intend to serve.
Transparency and intelligibility can help us achieve a really diverse range of goals. So things from mitigating unfairness in machine learning systems, to helping developers debug their AI systems, to gaining more trust from our users. There are two sides to transparency. In part, transparency means that the people who create AI systems should be open about how and why they're using AI, and also open about the limitations of their systems. Transparency also means that people should be able to understand the behavior of AI systems. This is what you often hear referred to as interpretability or intelligibility.
Despite all the complexity with these new models and with new technology that can be somewhat unpredictable and somewhat hard to interpret, we are still accountable for how our technology impacts the world. Second, I think about accountability as the structure that we put in place so that we make sure that we consistently are enacting our principles and that we're taking them into account in everything that we do. Also, part of our accountability is to help our customers and partners be accountable. We have a set of principles that guide how we develop and how we sell and how we advocate for regulation on facial recognition, because we feel like all three of those pieces are really critical to be accountable. We think it has a lot of great uses, and we also think there are a lot of uses that could interfere with people's civil liberties or push society in a direction that we're really not interested in supporting.
So in moving from our facial recognition principles to practices and processes that we can follow across the company, what we've had to do is to take a high-level principle, such as our commitment to fairness, and think about how do we have our development teams view every stage of the development life cycle with those principles. So today we have a set of guidelines that they can follow and think about these sorts of considerations at every step of the life cycle. And that's really a first in this company, and I think in many other places outside this company as well.